there it is. We've got the high gloss urethane paint on the frame. Everything laid down nice. See, she's got a nice high gloss to it. We should have plenty of years to come with no rust issues. We do need to flip it over when this is secured and hardened up, and we will do the bottom rails and the underside here of these panels here. And that should be the situation that tells you that the axles and everything else will be done 100% the same way, and we should have a nice product when we're all said and done. We'll go ahead and put a nice product on there like we did here on the bottom, and hopefully everybody will be able to see it when it's all said and done, because the truck's going to be white. I've decided it's going to be bone white, snow white, ultra white, whatever you want to call it. So all the black accessories should pop pretty nice. But there it is. That's the W250 1986 frame. The vehicle has spent most of its life in Southern California, and we rescued it and brought her home, and we've been working on it for about 3 years. We've got the body and stuff almost ready to go. The motor's been completely gone through and rebuilt. It's all been decked and new pistons, everything. Cam bearings, new lifters, new everything. And that was all done by Blockhead Enterprises over in McConnellsville, New York. And he did a wonderful job on that. And once we get this all said and done, we're going to go ahead and get the engine and transfer case and all that put back in here with the axles all done, and then we should be able to get the cab and all that prepped maybe before winter. That's a tall order, but we're going to give it a try. And then if that's the case, it will be put back on the frame. We will shrink wrap it like a boat shrink wrap, and then proceed in the spring on the rest of it, the front end and all the brake lines and gas tank and all that. But there you go. That's the high gloss, and she's nice. I'm really happy with it. It's actually probably better than a brand new truck of this era, because I don't think they spent this kind of quality on putting a frame together. They just probably figured you get 10 years out of the vehicle and send it to the dumpster, you know. But I know in Syracuse they wanted about $900. This was before Joe Biden took over, so I'm going to add a little bit to that. So let's just call it $1,100, probably $1,200, to do what I've done here, which was to sandblast it and put an epoxy primer on it, and then put a urethane color on it, which would be the gloss black. Right now, currently, with all the automotive paint and the epoxy primer and the sandblasting media, which is about $70 for 50 pounds of it, I had to use 3 of those. I've got about $350 in this, so it's not just about doing it yourself. It's about saving a little bit of money. It's about saying, would they have sandblasted around all the bracketry the way I did and took my time and did it 100% to my satisfaction? Or would they have just kind of glazed over it, best chance they got, and then just said, go ahead and put the epoxy primer on it, he'll never know? You know, that's the scenario I think would have probably really happened. But there you go, people. We'll have a nice setup, and we'll be able to say we, the DIYer, did it and did it right. It's a beautiful morning. It's probably upwards of 70-something degrees. It's going to be in the, I guess, high 80s today, maybe 85, mid 80s. And we're going to let this cure. And while this cures, we're going to turn around and see if we can't get on the boat and get out on that lake and have a little fun while the curing process happens. And I mean, we're all the way up. I don't think nothing can stop us now. So I hope you like how the frame turned out. And just as a reminder, you know, I picked that sandblaster up for 40 bucks. I mean, I know at Harbor Freight they're about $150, but you can do this yourself, people. I mean, I pulled these axles out. You just got to get a little creative. You know, I have an engine lift, and I just picked the one back end up and pulled the axles out from under it. And as you see, I've got it on jack stands and a couple little ladders. You can get creative with it, and you can do it yourself. You don't have to hire a crew. And the fun part is doing it yourself and getting it done right, so that at the end of the day you can say with pride and satisfaction, I did this, you know. And when you're going to get the car or truck, whatever you're working on, and you're going down the road with it, and people are looking at the quality and saying, hey, the situation there says that's a nice setup, you'll be able to know that you did it yourself, and you did it with pride, and you did it with a lot of joy, and you won't have to wonder if it was done right, because we already know if you're not doing it right, you damn sure ain't doing it. All right, this is Bry. I'm over here at the shop, and we're getting her done, and we're making things happen over here, and we're happy. We're happy to see that we're not tearing down. We're on the rebuild process. We're coming up. We're past the midway point, and we are moving forward with the situation that says we are no longer going backwards, but we are going forward. And from this point on, we'll be putting things back together. And that's an exciting part of the build process. And, you know, maybe, I mean, I'm not going to get unrealistic, but maybe within the next year, maybe next summer, I know I'll have at least most of it together. I don't know if it'll be technically on the road, but I think this time next year we'll be a little more excited, because we'll see some body panels and stuff put back on here. And, you know, I should have around 12 to maybe 13, 14,000 in this truck total. And, you know, to me, it'll be worth more than that. I mean, book value is probably what it is. But to me, it'll be worth more, because it's more like a labor of love. And the other thing is, I won't have to go through a New York State inspection on the, how do I put this, the evap canisters and all that. I won't have to worry about none of that. It'll only be a mechanical inspection. And if you know anything about this truck, that's kind of why I even went and got this truck, because I got tired of New York State saying, your engine light, oh, your engine light, you got to get this engine light out. Well, these didn't have an engine light. So 95 and below, you don't need to worry about the engine light. You just do what's called a New York State inspection, a mechanical systems check. This one here will not have a catalytic converter. Even though it was a California type vehicle, it will have a straight exhaust going out the back. I'm going to probably go with a 3-inch exhaust going out the back. I don't want to rattle the windows out of people's houses when I go by. I'm not interested in that, but it'll be a nice mellow noise coming out the exhaust, which will be kind of pleasant and nice all in the same time. So there it is. I'm not trying to break people's windows as I go by. That's not going to happen. But on the other token, the situation says I'm not putting a catalytic converter in here. That's kind of stupid. All right, people. If you've got a catalytic converter, I don't know what to tell you. You got to worry about an inspection, I guess. But here we are. We're happy. We've got the nice gloss black on here, urethane paint. It's a PPG product. Very satisfied with it so far. And we will keep you updated. That much I guarantee. This is Bry. I'm out.